excited um, about the world of software development and building. And in the next few minutes, I would walk you through some of those stuff and how you can benefit and why you should stick through to the end of the program. I already know one way or the other you are interested in. You are here so to learn. So you already have a reason why you are here. Yeah. So the topic of today is how software is eating the world. You may wonder how and why I picked this topic. Um, it is because in 2011, a an investor called Ben Horowitz is investing in almost all the softwares product that you use around the world. He wrote an article, and the name of the article is Why Software is Eating the World. This article is a very popular article among the tech industry, and it gives us a primary reason why software and software development has permeated into every industry that you can find around the world. So if you are looking at medicine, if you are looking at manufacturing, if you are looking at uh, aerodynamics, if you are looking at space travel, if you are looking at building, construction, any industry that you're looking at, definitely, absolutely, you will find software. It is ingrained into our world of today. So because software is in every part of this industry, it makes every of this industry work. It implies that there is opportunity for us as software engineers to work in any industry. So with just your one skill, your ability to be able to build software, your ability to be able to write software, to maintain software, with just one skill, it implies that you can work and relate to any industry around the world. So this is the premise of the topic I have for you today. And that premise is what I am going to take ahead to talk, is what I'm going to rely on at the end of today. All right. Now that I have laid the premise for this discussion of today, we can get right into it. Um, so the question is, who am I, and why am I qualified to speak to you today about this topic? Why should you even listen to me so far? Yeah, it's true. So let's get to it. Please let's mute our mic so that we can all hear us. Uh, all right. My name is Mustafa. I am a software engineer and technical trainer. I lead technical training in a lot of places. Um, you will find me here at Utiva. I create technical courses on LinkedIn Learning and a host of places like that. Uh, is why I am here because I have been doing this for about 5 years. So maybe take less or more. I am a little bit experienced in leading developers and helping them gain new skills. You may find me on LinkedIn and let's connect or something like that. Yeah, that's where you find me. All right, let's get right to it. So we are in a new era, the era where um, development, as I've said, permeates every industry that exists. Every one of us, as we are here, you are prone to use at least one device. You have your mobile phone or you have your um, And you may even have a laptop, you may have a tab, you may have a smart wristwatch, you may have CCTV cameras surrounding you, you may have um, any of these devices that allows us to interconnect with each other. The way I am seated here and you are seated there, and we're able to communicate with each other and have meaningful value, share value amongst ourselves. These are things that is made available because of this era that we are in currently, the computing era, the digital era that exists today. This digital, this thing that is made possible by technology wouldn't have been possible 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, less to talk of 100 years ago. Because we are in a unique period of time, this gives us ability to do unique things, things that have not been done before, that only us with the power and the tools and the skills that we are going to be learning, only us are able to do them. This gathering today that we are able to sit down in the comfort of our house and have this conversation and share between ourselves, it is only possible, as I've said, due to what? Technology. Our goal then is to now learn and to understand this technology and to be able to build innovative products. At this point, I'm just going to try to demonstrate some simple products. There's some complex products that through the life cycle of this program that you are entering now, that you are going to learn. So let me start from simple products. Okay, so I am going to go to my collection of simple products. Yeah, I am going to send it to you in the chat section there. So these products are pretty much, as I've said, simple. The idea is to just excite you to see the possibility of the things that we are going to build in the short term and the things that you'll be able to build by the end of this program. So let's start. I'm just going to demo like 8 of them here. They are relatively simple, as I've said, nothing special about these ones. This one is called a counter, and this counter here, it has a button, it has a reset, and it has a that allows you to increase the value, to reduce the value, and then to reset the value. So we can reduce the value, we can increase it, reset it. So you'll be wondering, yeah, this has no meaningful effect currently. It's just very simple interaction with the web browser. This can work on any device, on your Android, on your iPhone, or your iOS, etc. like that. We start from here and we make it simple. Now we move from here to something maybe this complex. Not necessarily as complex, but on the level of complexity, this is a bit more complex than the first one I showed you. So here we have an interactive page that allows us to be able to add some stuff to this website. This is 2. We have this third one here that is called random background color change. This one is also a little bit much more complex than the previous one I just shared with you. Here, when you click on this button that you see on your screen, something interesting happens, which is exactly that it changes. It generates a random color and use that random color to affect the background of this page. So you will see that the more you click on that button, the more the background of that page changes. So there are a lot of mechanisms that go into developing the nature of the algorithm that is going to generate the background color, that is going to generate the color itself, and then injecting that color into the background of the page. All right. The next one is word flag. Let's see what that looks like. So you will notice this, the nature of this web page too is very similar to the previous one. But in the previous one, we were generating color. This one, we are not generating color. What we are doing here is that we are generating a flag of a country. So this will find the flag of random countries around the world. And then you can see here, you are going to see the name of the country. There are several things we can do with this. We can build a quiz game around this. As you can see here, we can build a game around this and several other things we will do. So the nature of what I am demonstrating to you currently is that we can build simple things. And as you build on the layers of simple things, this on top of this, on top of this, on top of this, as you combine them together, what you will get is a host of complex features, a host of complex interactions, a host of complex process flows that leads to when we will now talk about how we want to design an Instagram, how we want to design a WhatsApp, how we want to design a pull request, how we want to design moving flow of money from one bank account to another bank account, right? So you see that initially we are starting from the simple things, right? And then building up to the complex ideas. All right, so I've demonstrated the country flag generator. The next one is the Nigerian states. The Nigerian state here, what we have here is a host of states here, the Nigerian states. And then when you pick on a state, for example, or excuse me, currently we have all the Nigerian states from Abia to Zamfara. Let's assume Chidinma is from Imo State. So if I go and find Imo State here now, where is Imo State? Imo State. So when I click on Imo State, what you will notice is that Imo State has been selected in this place. Then in the LGA section, you will now see that we have all the local government of Imo State. And then here too, you will now see that because I have selected Imo State, this last part will also show that we have 26 LGAs in Imo State, and it will show us this interaction of all, it will list all the 26 LGAs. We can add more to this and then see the information and then see like a wiki, who is the local government chairman of the LGA, what is the population of the LGA, etc, etc. We can add more information to that. So that is Imo State. We can try for Delta State. Where's Delta State? So if I select Delta State here, you will see that we are seeing all the LGAs in Delta State, and then we can now see 24 LGAs in Delta State. I can try for Lagos State. Where is Lagos State? This is Lagos State here. I pick Lagos State here, and then here in the LGA, we can see a drop down of all the Lagos State. When we see a drop down, and then here you now see 19 LGAs in Lagos State. LGAs are different from LCGA. LCGA is that when they break down the LGAs into subunits, then we now have maybe 56 or 50 something LCGAs in Lagos State. So yeah, this is another project. All these projects are showing interactivity of us interacting with the web, and as you can see, these projects are web-based. And let's finish up. So I've shown you Nigerian state. Let me show you the simple calculator here. So the simple calculator here, you have a host of buttons. These buttons, and then the operations, and then these two. So you can, let's say, you can click on the value 54 minus 87, and then you click on equals, and then you are going to see the final answer here. And then when you clear, everything goes. Then you can see 63 times 41. And then you click on this, and then it shows you this. So obviously, as I've said, these are simple projects. These are what we use to start. For you to see that, okay, the interaction are simple, then it becomes much more complex. And as again, these interactions are primarily on the web. They also work on your mobile devices. So I want you to see here. I'm zooming in so that you can see this section. Here, I am going to pick. I'm picking Galaxy. Okay, let's start from iPhone. iPhone 12, iPhone 12 Pro. So this is what this device is going to look like. Our page is going to look like on an iPhone 12 Pro. You will notice that it still works perfectly. I can pick Edo State, then I will still see all the local government of the what or under that state. So it works on the browsers, Pixel 5, iPad Air, Galaxy Fold, Samsung Galaxy, Galaxy X8, all these devices. These are some of the devices that we are going to use to test what we are building, to demonstrate to us that what we are building works. All right, let's get back to it. I've shown you the calculator. This is a simple calculator. We are then going to our goal, once we are finished building a simple calculator, is to expand it to have all the capabilities of your scientific calculator and make it do all those stuff, right? The idea is for you to see that all those things that you have used or that you are using are not so complex to build. And it is your duty, it is your job as a software engineer to be able to build and to be able to adapt to environment, industries, learn those things and build things that will support those industries. All right, so I've shown you the calculator, two more things, and then I will move on to another set of tools. So this is a slider. You are familiar with slider from, if you go to Jumia or if you go to Konga, you go to Jumia or Konga, you will see something that we call a carousel. This is it here. Here, you are seeing these three people here. These three people here. Do you see? You can click on this arrow. Can you see that arrow that is pointing to the right hand side? And then you see it. As you click on the arrow, it will move away. The content will move away, right? This is, you have seen it live in action here. When we bring it back, this is a simple version of that carousel, a simple version of it. Here, you can see that when I click on the right, so I have two buttons here, right and what? And left. I have two buttons. When I click on the right, it will take what is there before and put another thing there, just like we have on Jumia, just like I just showed you on Jumia. Take what is there, put another thing. Take what is there, put another thing. So it can flow like that. You can do it to the right, you can do it to the left. So that is a simple example of a slider. Now, the next example I want to demonstrate to you. This example, has anybody used Mavis Beacon before? Have you heard of Mavis Beacon? Or when you want to, when somebody is new to computing and the person wants to learn to type, right? You need a tool to be able to learn to type, right? To be able to
Yeah.
be a good typist, right? This program that you're seeing on your screen is meant to teach you how to type too. A simple version. It's a simple version of Mavis Beacon. By the time we finish this, you will now have enough knowledge to be able to build your own and expand on your own Mavis Beacon. You'll be able to extract it out. So this is what it's going to do. You can see that the instruction says type the letters below this line. So what you need to do is just type. As you type, if you type it correctly, I hope you can see what is happening here. If you type it correctly, you will see the color code. Do you see that the color code here, green, that Q is green. The next one is, so let's assume now, you can see that I did not type it correctly. So the C is what? Is red. Then the next one is green. If I did not type it correctly, it will be red. So when I type it correctly, it will be green. So you can see what I am explaining here. So the more you type correctly, the more this will work, and then you'll be able to interact with this web page. What we can now do with this interaction is to add like timer, so that instead of you to just be typing in your own at your own pace, we can add timer to it, so that we can give you a few we can give you what's it called, a time range for you to be able to complete this timing. Another thing we can add is to check the accuracy. If this all these letters now we have 20, we can now use it to check the accuracy. How many did you get within the time frame, to be able to know if you are improving in your, we can now start tracking your timing, right, and your accuracy. Are you improving, or we need to give you another set of exercises? So this is another, so every time you reload this page, it will generate a new set of text for you to play with, right? It will generate a new set of text for you to play with. As you can see here, every time you reload the page, a new set of text will be generated for you. So PUB, BX, KDB, DTQ, UCK, URXIGB. You see? So here now, I would say my accuracy is 100% within a time frame, but we can make it exciting, right? It is like that. So these are some simple projects that we'll start with. And this, as you have seen, all these projects are what? Web-based projects. They are projects on the web. On the browser, I mean, on the front end of a project. As I understand, many of us here will be working on back-end systems too. You want to learn how to build your own Binance, for Forex. I say Forex for Bitcoin, and where's the website? You want to learn how to build something like this, or you want to learn how to build your own Lemonade Finance. Let me find it. How to build your own what's it called? Way to move money across Africa, right? You just want to learn how to build products. So our goal in the backend section of this program is that we are going to focus on what's it called? We are going to focus on a particular API, and we are going to learn how to use that API to build financial services, move money from point A to point B, right? Move money from Chidima's account to Emmanuel's account. Move money from Richard's account to Chijioke's account. Move money from Emeka's account to Godwin's account, right? So we are going to play with the APIs, learn how these banks operate, and how we can use code to be able to transfer money from United States to Canada, from Canada to Nigeria to UK, right? That is also part of like the flow of what we are going to be learning in this session. As I have said, the goal is that we are learning how software is going to eat the world, right? And we have understood the premise is that you can apply software to any industry, right? We have seen here from this place, we have seen that you can apply software to teaching people to education. You can apply software to e-commerce for buying and selling. You can apply software to scientific applications. You can apply software to governance, right? This is something that we can apply for INEC now. INEC can use it to know how many people in a particular region of a state are going to be voting, how many people voted, You can apply it to governance. You can apply it to quizzes, games. This is a very simple game that you can play with your kids at home or with your friends. You can just click on the button and say and ask them to predict the country that is coming up. It's a very simple game. You can attach a timer to this, and then it will immediately start showing. If I want to attach a timer to this, it doesn't take me long to do that. I can write up the code in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and I will have a timer that will start running on this page. All right. So you have seen a host of demos of how we can apply software to several instances, to several industries. All right. Let's get back here. So now that I have demonstrated some of the ideas of programming and some of the projects that we are going to be building in the lifetime of this class, simple project, semi-simple project, complex project, and expert level project, right? The next thing I want to talk about is why we are here today, right? Since you have already gotten the idea of that, so the whole goal is that at the end of the program, by the end of the whole session that you have learned, you will be able to work in this era. You will remember the era that I was talking about, the era that allows me to be in my room here and to be communicating with you, the era that allows us to innovate. Innovation has not ended. There are so many people there are so many things in so many industry that require innovation, that require development, that require your knowledge and your expertise, right? So innovation is just starting. So many things can still flow. I will answer all questions once I'm done with the presentation. So just give me like 15, 20 more minutes and I'll be done. Then we can all take all the questions together. All right. If you have questions for me, just please wait. All right. So in the second half of this session, what I want to talk about here are our home world, the human world, what makes it unique, and why software is an integral part of our home world. Then we'll talk about computers, everything that you see around you, all the devices, all the gadgets that you are seeing around you. Then we talk about the uniqueness of languages. We'll talk about human languages, and then we'll now talk about computing languages. Then we'll talk about how to speak these languages. Either it is human language, which you are already conversant with, or computing languages, which is what we are going to be learning in this session. So let's get right to it. Our home world, the human language. You will agree with me that the human world is a diverse, complex, rich in culture and tradition around the world. There are over 7 billion people around the world that speak over 6,000 languages in 195 countries. And I am sure that you don't speak all these languages. There are Burmese, Mandarin, Latin, English, Arabic, Polish, Polishka, Hindu, so many languages. Do you, as an individual, need to speak all this language to be able to communicate with everybody in the world? You will realize that the answer is no. For example, we have Stata that shows us that of these 7 billion people around the world, 1 billion, at least 2 billion people speak Mandarin. Another 2 billion speak English. Another like 1 billion people speak Arabic. Then you have like maybe 500 billion people that speak 500 million that speak English, that speak Spanish and Portuguese. If you add English, Arabic, Mandarin, Portuguese, and Spanish, Arabic and Spanish together, 5 languages. If you can speak these 5 languages, there is a high chance that if you meet anybody around the world, if you travel to anywhere around the world, you'll be able to communicate with that person. Anybody you meet around the world, say you go from here now, you go to Europe. If you can speak English or Spanish, the person you meet, any random person you meet, there is a high opportunity, high chance that you and that person will be able to communicate and transact and exchange value and do whatever you need to do. If you travel from Nigeria or wherever you are and go to the Middle East and speak Mandarin, a language spoken by 2 billion people, there's a high chance that the random person you meet at the airport, the person that is transporting you from the airport to your apartment, to your hotel, or the person that is going to check you in into your hotel, you'll be able to communicate with that person just by what? Speaking 5 languages. If you speak Spanish and you take yourself now and you find yourself in if you find yourself in what's it called, South America, Argentina, Cuba, what's it called, Chile, Brazil. If you find yourself in these places and you speak either Portuguese or Spanish, there is a high chance that you'll be able to what? Communicate with these people. There is a high chance that you'll be able to what? Interact with these people. You'll be able to buy food. You'll be able to sell them your own product. You'll be able to laugh. You'll be able to go to their beaches and play football with them or whatever sports that you want to engage in. You'll be able to perform normal human actions with random people that you have never met just by what? Learning 5 languages. So you can see that even though there is so many languages in the world, you don't need to learn all the languages to be able to perform normal interactions, normal actions. You don't need to learn all the languages in the world. As we have learned, all these complex interactions become simple. All these complex interactions. Imagine yourself now in India and you want to buy food. You can see how complicated it will be if you don't speak their local language. But if you can speak English, you can see how doors will open for you because now you have access to their culture, you have access to their traditions, you have access to their language. Same thing with computers. As we have diverse human culture, human tradition, we have diverse devices too, diverse gadgets. You have your mobile device, you have smart devices, you have drones, you have wristwatches, we have auto cars, etc. For example, we have already seen on the Android platform, if you go to the Android platform, we have already seen that there are so many platforms that interact with the Android operating system. When you just come down here, you will see that Android runs on the television, it runs in your cars, it runs on your wearables, it runs on your laptop, desktop, and your operating system. It runs on your television too. So here, you will see Android for television, you will see Android for cars, you will see Android for IoT devices. IoT devices like your CCTV camera, like your like your smart devices at home, like what's that guy's name? Amazon's okay, like Apple's Siri that you have on your phone, or Microsoft Cortana, or Amazon's Alexa. Yeah, this is Alexa. Yeah, it's a smart home device that we have all used one way or the other, or that we have access to, that we can use at different times, right? So what I am demonstrating here is that there are so many devices around the world. In the world, there are about 8 billion people, and there are about 22 billion devices. It means that for every almost one person, there are 3 devices. For every one person in the world, there are 3 devices. One person, you can have one phone, one wristwatch, and what else do you have? One phone, one wristwatch. Maybe you have a camera. Maybe you have maybe you have a car. Maybe you have, but at least for every one person, we can map 3 devices around the world, right? And the mobile devices that are around the world are what? Above 5 billion. And in human languages, we said we have over 6,000 human languages. Computing languages are even more than that. We have so many programming languages. As you can see here, we have over 9,000 programming languages. But do you need to learn all these programming languages? Sorry, excuse me. Do you need to learn all these programming languages to be able to be a successful software engineer, to be able to start contributing to the software that is eating the world? Do you need to be able to learn all these Kotlin, Swift, COBOL, CSS, Solidity to be able to build software that is going to be used by Jumia, or that is going to be used to be building um, money transferable tools, or that is going to be used to be building um, platforms like Binance or Luno to be able to buy and sell and trade in different currencies around the world. Do you need to be able to learn all these languages? No, you don't need to learn all these languages. Same way with human language, where we have so many human language that you can use to communicate with so many people around the world. But just by learning English, you can be able to communicate in Nigeria, communicate in Europe, communicate in Asia, communicate in America, just with your one English. If you learn only one language, maybe JavaScript, or you learn Java. Java is different from JavaScript. Or you learn Kotlin, or you learn PHP, or you learn um, SQL. Just by learning one language, you'll be able to achieve all these things. Understand? The same way, if you can speak French, you'll be able to speak with almost everybody in Africa. You go to Morocco, you'll be able to communicate. You go to Libya, you'll be able to communicate. You go to Cameroon here, you'll be able to communicate. You go to Togo, you'll be able to communicate. You go to France, you'll be able to communicate. You go to Mexico, you'll be able to communicate. You go to Canada, you'll be able to communicate if you learn French. Same thing if you learn JavaScript. With just your JavaScript or with just your PHP, you'll be able to do amazing things, right? You'll be able to build all the things that you need to do. So all these 9,000 languages, yes, there are so many languages in the world, but you don't need to be an expert in all these languages. You just need to be an expert in one or two languages, and you'll be set to be able to do all the amazing things. Don't forget, the goal of software. Yeah, sorry, I got disconnected. Um, I I'm back here now. So, as I've said, The goal of software is to what? Is to build. The focus in your head should be you want to build. The focus is not to spend enough time learning the language. Become an expert in one language and then build amazing things. That is the goal. Learn the language to build amazing things, right? The focus is not to learn all the 9,000 languages, right? And the languages will be very exciting. You want to learn Go, you want to learn C++, you want to learn C Sharp, you want to do backend, you want to do front end. These things will take time. But if you can learn just one language and be good at it, you will be able to focus and build all the things that you need to build. All right. So we have come to the part where we can now take questions. I've been talking for like 45 minutes. So yeah, this is the part where you ask me questions about anything I've been talking about so far. What do you want to know? Let me know. Yeah, Mr. Valentine or Valentine, let's go first. Yeah, I'm free. Go for it. Unmute yourself.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Mustafa,
You're
for
welcome.
the orientation, introduction on how to use software to interact with the world in different sectors. So thank you very much for that. And I have about 2 questions.
Yeah.
Number 1 is on the simple project
Yeah.
that you talked about.
Yeah.
I think on the slide, you listed up to 8, but at the end of the day, you stop at number 7, which is the slider. So I would like to know the 8th part and how it works. That's 1.
Okay.
Then 2, we are talking about interacting with the world.
Yeah.
And in the simple project,